All right, guys, it has been a while since I've been out here. Let's see how things have held up. Well, not much of a trail left. Let's make our way down and see what things look like. Oh boy. It is thick, thick, thick. If I didn't already know where my trail was, I wouldn't have known that there was a trail here anyway. Well, the bridge looks a little worse for wear. 2 logs are still in place. And my handrail took a shot. I'm gonna have to address that. A little bit of the remnants of a trail on this part of it. Okay, actually looking pretty good here. The site is still fairly clear. Just a little bit of undergrowth back up. The structure itself seems to have held really, really well. Tarp needs to be tightened up in a couple spots, but other than that, I'm pretty pleased. Definitely looks different with everything grown up. All right, let's get to work cleaning this path and the shelter site. Okay, this feels a little bit better. Looks good. Let's go check out the path. I had to get creative to bring the lawnmower over. Obviously my bridge isn't wide enough, so I just ran it up through the creek and right up this steep hill. It was less than graceful. This is much better. And we're to the truck. Sweet. All right, guys, let's give it a grade up to this point. Jump down in the comments, let me know what you think. Let's go school style, A, B, C, D, or F. Well, as you can see, it is plenty warm out this evening, so I opted to not have a fire. But I did want to eat something out here. I knew I was going to work up a sweat and burn some calories, so I just brought some lunch meat and bread, so I'm going to dig into that. A little mustard to top it off. This bottle of mustard is still absolutely covered with sand from the last video. Supper of Champions, a little ham and cheese with some mustard on it. Can't go wrong with a classic like this. So I was sitting there finishing up my sandwiches, and I remembered, oh yeah, there was a chance of rain this evening. And so I looked at the radar, and if the radar's any indication, we're about to test out the old shelter here. But I promised you guys a story. So it's been probably 5 to 6 weeks since I posted my last video. So I posted one last week of the kayaking and fishing, but it had been a while, and there's a couple reasons why. Reason number one, we had a graduation in the family. So May was pretty full with that, getting ready for it, you know, bringing family in, just all that coordinating, all that kind of stuff. So that was a big one. Number 2, we had a move in the family. So not my immediate family, but extended family. One of our elderly family members moved a few hundred miles after being in their house for decades and decades and decades. So that took up a lot of my time. I had to drive down and pack up, clean out, all that kind of stuff, get everything loaded on a truck, get it hauled up, and get it unpacked. So that has kept me extremely busy. Both very, very good things, you know, both blessings in life. There is a third reason, and I'm not going to go real deep into it other than to say, once again, I came, you know, so close to having to realistically find another property. Nothing I absolutely could have foreseen at all, but it happened. Well, the event happened, and that event caused me to think I might have to find another property. I think we're okay for the foreseeable future. We're going to stick bushcraft style because we don't own this land, and I think I've decided to wait until we own a piece of property to build a cabin on it. But we'll see. I might change my mind on that too, because I have found another location that I would have to get permission, but to potentially, you know, build a cabin similar to the one I started. It would be the style that's on skids, so if I ever needed to move it, that I could. So, but that's down the road. So, guys, that's, you know, it's nothing too salacious as to why I haven't posted in a while. But those are the reasons why. It was just life stuff. You know, life happens, and I've said it before. I love to put these videos out for you guys that enjoy it, to see what kind of crazy stuff I'm getting up to. I had a moment at one point when I was running the push mower that I thought, I am running a push mower in the middle of the woods. What am I doing? What sane person does this? But I guess this one, or maybe I'm not that sane, who knows. But that's the reason for the gap. From here on out, I would anticipate back to my weekly schedule. Not only, again, do I like putting these videos out for you guys to see what I'm up to, but just, and I've talked about it a million times, but what it does for my soul to get out here in the woods and nature. While I was eating, I was sitting there and just listening and enjoying the sounds of the woods, mostly the birds. There was a couple squirrels chittering about, and I could just kind of through the trees see the sun, you know, kind of starting to set, and it hits me on a level that I'm obviously not very good at explaining. But you know, going back to my first video, to finding a garden, when I thought we were going to lose access to this place, that's when I decided to go down to that conservation area, because I wanted to you know, listen to my own words, heed my own advice from that first video. If you don't have access to private land, you know, there are places that you can find and you can go and you can just be in God's creation and enjoy the beauty and the silence and the peace. And I know for me, it just spiritually, it helps a lot. But for me, it's more of my mentality, my mental state. If I don't get out and touch some grass every once in a while, I start to struggle mentally. So that's story time. I'm going to hang out for a little bit longer. Hopefully the rain will hold off. We'll see. But before I do anything else, I'm going to finish my sandwich. All right, I'm all wrapped up, I think, for the night. A couple more things I want to talk about, then we're going to get out of here. Number one, the shelter. I think I have everything actually tied in now. There might be one or two that I'm missing, but it feels pretty sturdy. I'm interested to see how well the tarps hold up, but so far I'm pretty pleased with it. You may have noticed I've abandoned the arbor knot for now. The paracord and then the mule tape that I have, either I'm not doing it well enough or the material is just not super conducive to that. So on the last few knots, I just went with the old tried and true square knot, the old tie your shoes square knot. Number two, more importantly, next steps. Like I said, I've got a couple more things on the shelter I want to button up, but really not much. Things I'm thinking, projects, obviously beds. I'd like a bushcraft table. If you've watched a previous video, we made that small one that just kind of sits up about 6-8 inches off the ground. But I would like one, you know, normal countertop height for when we're kind of preparing food or whatever we're doing out here. I need to track down some good rocks for a fire ring. In this area, the most abundant rock is limestone, and from all my research, it is not wise to use limestone as a fire ring because of the potential moisture inside of the limestone, which leads to the potential of them breaking apart, sometimes violently, sometimes injuring people. So I'm having a little difficulty tracking that down, but fire ring's definitely another one. Obviously maintaining the path, but I feel pretty good about that right now. Upgrading the bridge. I'd like to widen it a little bit, separate the logs a little bit, and then start adding, you know, planks along there. It's really pretty usable right now, as long as you're just, you know, walking across it. When you go to carry stuff across it, it's just a little too narrow. So that's definitely a project I want to get done. But I'd love your guys' input, you know, especially if you have experience out in the woods like this and you've built a camp like this. What are the must-haves? What should I tackle first? What's something that I can put off to a little bit later? Et cetera, et cetera. I would just absolutely love your guys' feedback, especially from those that have had some experience in doing this. With all that said, I've talked a bunch in this video. For those of you that don't like that, I apologize. I was able to get some stuff done, really made that kind of the next big step on the shelter here. Pretty excited about it. There is, like I said, a little bit more I want to button up, and I might add a third tarp that covers a little bit more, you know, roof type, just in case it were to cut loose on rain, which, by the way, the rain has held off, so we got lucky there. But I'm going to quit yapping. I'm going to call it a day and head on out. As always, I hope this video has blessed you, and we'll see you next time.